3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular. Mystery reading number 1129. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting the subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome. And thank you very much for your support in helping me reach 300 subscribers at the time of this video being uploaded, as well as your presence during this reading. So as soon as I just now started talking, saw the number 122 on the timer. I believe I saw this number in the beginning of another reading recently. So maybe this is confirmation that this reading is also meant for you. But the number 122 is about how change starts with you. I'm also feeling really connected to the color purple and the number 9 in 1000. And as I was just trying to say before I was rudely interrupted, I'm feeling really connected to the number 9 in 1129 in the color purple. And the reason why I mentioned being rudely interrupted is because I forgot to delete videos on my phone to make room to record this one, and so it automatically stopped recording. So I guess I accidentally rudely interrupted myself. But maybe there is something here that you feel is really interrupting you or distracting you in a way that is frustrating. I know that this similar message to this also came out in a reading recently, which could be confirmation that this reading is meant for you. Or it could be further confirmation that this reading is meant for you if you also resonated with already seeing number 122. Let me think for a second. I did mention actually 122 is about how change starts with you. And the number 9, I suppose I should go ahead and talk about it since I'm feeling drawn to it. It's about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. And I find feeling drawn to this number after seeing the number 122, or around when I saw that number, to be very interesting. Because it feels like there is some sort of change, a certain way that you can change as a person, something you can change in your reality that, really comes with a sense of purpose and meaning in a way that helps the collective make similar or even the same positive changes within themselves or in their own reality. Or realities, I suppose you could say. When I think of the color purple, well, I know that that's the name of a movie, so maybe that movie in particular could be significant for you. But the actual color itself, it really reminds me of spiritual things, psychic things, mysterious things. So maybe there really is something here in terms of a sense of purpose that feels really spiritual. And I also felt connected to the Italian word for purple, which is viola. And so it feels like your ancestors here in particular are, wanting to talk about something that feels very spiritual or mystical or mysterious, mystifying for you. This makes me feel like wherever this mysterious, mystical feeling is coming from, it has something to do with family, or, your own sense of stability and security, your sense of safety. So maybe what you need here is a reminder that whenever you do create more stability and security for yourself, financially or otherwise, you are contributing to a world that is more stable and secure and has a stronger sense of safety. When you're more honest with yourself, you're contributing to a more honest world. So if you do feel a sense of purpose, I really, really encourage you to pay attention to that and to trust it if you feel called to. If you don't even know what it is, I encourage you to find it, understand what it means. And if you don't feel this sense of purpose, this could be a big message for you to find a deeper meaning in what you have been through and the way that things are now globally, or in your own country, in your own city, just bigger than you. Moving into interpreting the number 1129, though, the number 1 is about having trust and faith in yourself, your intuition, and your strength. And it can also be about having trust and faith in the universe, your spirit guides, ancestors, whatever higher power you believe in, whatever spiritual feeling you are feeling. What are you really feeling connected to right now? When you think about trusting and believing in yourself, what is this sense of purpose that it brings? Trusting your own intuition and believing in your strength so you can honor what your intuition is trying to tell you, or where it is trying to guide you. If you do feel guided by the universe or some higher power, I definitely encourage you to pay attention, because while I don't believe that any religion is 100% truth, there's truth in every religion. I believe that. As I said in a reading recently as well, I believe that spiritual mysticism is something that can bridge the gap between the different religions, like something we all can trust and believe in, at least us faith believers, as we, try to explore the more religious side of spirituality, and so we can understand what's true and what isn't. I did see the number 555 on the timer, which is about change and transformation. It's reminding me about what I said about how change starts with you. So there could be confirmation here that there is some big change or transformation that is very spiritual that you should pay attention to, especially if your intuition is, feels like it's picking up on something. Do you want to follow the breadcrumbs, or go down that rabbit hole? Every time I think of a rabbit hole, it always makes me laugh, because Theo Vaughn said something that I really appreciated. He was talking about Candace Owens and how he said that, I don't like the rabbit holes that she goes down, but I appreciate that she digs in the garden. I thought that was really creative, and I just really liked it. Maybe you yourself are digging in the garden, and in like the 7 of Cups, you have to discern between what's fantasy and what is reality, what is delusion, and what is truth. So don't be afraid to go down that rabbit hole. I had a dream recently where I did dream about a white rabbit. So maybe there's something here about your workplace that is suspicious. Maybe something you should pay attention to there. And there are 2 1s in 1129. So it's a fairly decent message here for you to have trust and faith in yourself and whatever higher power, whatever spiritual thing you believe in, or that you are at least very curious about. Moving on to the number 2, this number can be confirmation of a significant relationship or situation that has already come into your mind or will come up as you watch this reading. It can also be confirmation or guidance for you to be very wise with your choices, prioritize what means the most to you, and protect your peace. In a reading recently, there was a plead here for somebody to protect their peace, and this is something that I'm still feeling in this reading. If someone here is dealing with a lot of darkness within themselves and their reality, there's deeper meaning behind that. There's so much wisdom and potential to find in that darkness, because darkness can be turned into light. What is not seen can be seen. What is unknown can be known. Of course, not everything, but it feels like there's definitely something here to learn or to realize or to wake up to. I'm feeling connected to the Ace of Swords. And as I was trying to say that, I was feeling connected to the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. It feels like there's some sort of an opportunity to realize something or wake up to something that will be followed by an opportunity to connect with someone or something that you are passionate about, and to manifest an opportunity to express this passion, this connection, whether it's with a person or not. I feel that there's a spiritual connection here. It definitely feels like someone here is feeling connected to something, and like I've been saying, pay attention to that and maybe even trust it if you truly feel called to and it truly feels right for you. It's okay if there is someone or something that you need to walk away to protect your peace, or to make your life about what you truly value and what truly feels morally right and fair and just to you. It's okay to give yourself permission to honor and respect yourself. And as we already said with the number 9, that number is about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. So really, if there is someone or something that you need to walk away from, remember that it's bigger than you. If it's not healthy for you, if it's destructive for you, this is most certainly bigger than you. Because I believe that there is a spiritual, psychological warfare going on right now, and whenever we hate ourselves, it makes it easier for evil to weaponize that self-hate. But when we love ourselves, that's a kind of strength evil can't compete with. Yeah, I really do believe that. Love really does feel like it is the answer. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 1 is 2, plus another 2 is 4, and 4 plus 9 is 13. And I have 2 messages for this number 13 here. The first one, for the number 13 itself, is about good luck and good fortune. It's a sign that things are going to get better, and maybe even better than you thought that they would, but only if you move forward with patience, faith, and self-love. I recently had this feeling that the reason why we're being asked to be patient so much is because the universe wants us to know that we're in it for the faith and not the result, the reward, the destination. I actually learned recently, I just saw the number 2, 3, 4, sign to trust everything happens for a reason, but I learned recently about the Epic of Gilgamesh and how it's about this king who goes on a quest to try to find immortality, and he doesn't find immortality. Instead, he comes back realizing that being immortal exists in memory, being remembered, maybe even as a legend, and not, in life. That's not how immortality is about being remembered, not about living longer. So I find that interesting. Very, very interesting. Maybe there's something spiritually significant there for you. about that. And if you don't already know, you could do more research into that epic of Gilgamesh. I learned about it when I was learning about ancient Egypt and ancient Mesopotamia. So maybe there is something here about those ancient civilizations for you. The other number with the number 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. That is connected to stability as well as your ancestors. So it seems like past loved ones are really making themselves known right now, whether you knew them in this life or not, and they are really encouraging you to create the stability and security, not only that you need, but that you also deserve, and that the rest of us need and deserve as well. I feel like the biggest thing your ancestors want you to hold on to is remembering how much bigger this is than you. If you want a more stable, safe, and secure life, well, collective world, you have to first be willing to create that stability and safety and security within yourself by having trust and faith in yourself and your ability to co-create with the universe to create the reality that you not only need, but also deserve. So you can see that there are 2 decks of cards on the table. We have the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot cards, as well as these index cards that I made myself. I'm just going to start with drawing out a couple of these. Yeah, I'm just going to do a couple of these tarot cards to get more detail into what this reading really is about, especially in relation to the number 1129 and all of those messages about having trust and faith in yourself and the potential of letting go of what no longer serves you, protecting your peace, and trusting some sense of purpose, and helping the world release what no longer works. So I have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. Upright, it says prioritize giving attention to people and things that mean the most. Boundaries. Yep, there is a number 2 on here with this 2 of Pentacles. And the idea of prioritizing what means the most to you, whether it's people or something else, it really does feel like there's something here that you need to walk away from, or that needs to be deprioritized. Whenever I first saw this card in reverse, I instantly felt connected to the word boundaries before I even read the word boundaries on the card. So maybe you need to set stricter boundaries with somebody. We have the Knight of Pentacles, 6x4 on the timer. Sign to trust everything happens for a reason. This Knight of Pentacles says routine equals success, hardworking, productive, and diligence. With seeing a sign about trusting that everything happens for a reason, you might be frustrated with having to work hard and with being patient. It's something so many of us struggle with, is being patient, because we struggle with having faith in ourselves and what's possible and what the universe is willing to help us create or manifest. Whatever you're working hard on, have trust, have the faith that you need to work hard, to stay committed. The worst thing that you can do in trying to reach your goals is doubt what's possible. You may believe in yourself to be capable of doing something, but if you don't believe in the results, the destination, it's so interesting. That's why I was talking about the Epic of Gilgamesh, because it was about how, I learned something about how there was something significant about, that saying it's about the journey, not the destination. And I feel like that message is very relevant here. It feels like there's a need to be present so you can stay focused. What from the past are you dwelling on that is weighing heavy on you? What are you worried about that is making you feel anxious about the future? Uncertainty can definitely be scary, but it's a lot easier to deal with when we believe in our potential and are okay if our potential might be different than what we thought or what we were working hard for. Feels like there's really something here about how, you don't know unless you try, and wouldn't you rather try and fail than not try and never know? Do you have a fear of failure or being disappointed? I do really think that there is some sort of fear or darkness that is distracting you from staying focused on something that does mean a lot to you as it is, or could mean a lot to you if you shift trajectory here, if you walk away from someone or something and embrace someone or something else. Yeah, this Two of Pentacles really does point to a distraction or some sort of misalignment. There's someone or something. It doesn't feel like something big scale. It feels like something more immediate, more like a detail, something smaller. But, it contributes to something bigger, if that makes sense. Something here is not working, it feels like, and it may be helpful to redirect this hard-working energy elsewhere. So I'm going to finish up this reading now by drawing out one of these index cards, which sometimes can be quite revealing. So let's see what comes for here. Which one are we going to take? Let's do this one, for sure. It says, I really should be thinking about what's truly best for me now. I realize. Is this something that you already are realizing? This is just confirmation, or is this something that you need to realize, and it is guidance? I did talk a lot about waking up to something. When you think about priorities and boundaries, it's not just about people or situations outside of yourself. It's also about what's going on within you. What kind of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are you prioritizing and investing in? When are you telling yourself yes, and when are you telling yourself no? I think setting boundaries with ourselves is more important than setting boundaries with others, because the boundaries that we set for ourselves, it's a standard for how we are willing to treat ourselves. And I believe that how we treat ourselves is how we will allow others to treat us, or how we will allow ourselves to treat others. And that's why it's so important to have a healthy relationship with yourself, and to be okay with prioritizing yourself when you really need to. Because like I said closer to the beginning of this video, it's so much bigger than you. I want to say, don't give up. Stay curious, stay faithful, stay hopeful. Don't forget your ideas. They matter. Maybe there's something here from childhood that is significant for you, that inspired you. Or there was something here about your younger self that is inspiring. And it could even just be healing from something that happened to you as a child. And I'm seeing the number 222 on the timer. And like I said in the beginning, that could be confirmation of a significant relationship or situation on your mind. So that's extra confirmation for somebody who is thinking about something from childhood. But I also said that it is confirmation or guidance. In this case, it feels like powerful confirmation for you to be wise with your choices. Prioritize what means the most to you, as this card says. And, protect your peace. Do not be afraid. It's okay to be afraid. Just don't let that fear hold you back from walking away from someone or something that is not good for you, so you can have room for someone or something that is good for you. And I actually learned about ancient Mesopotamian mythology, and it's that the idea of having to, they called it creative destruction, where the old has to be destroyed to make room for the new. It was something about Tiamat, an ancient goddess, I suppose, being, I guess her and her son got into like some sort of duel and she lost, and so her son used, I guess, she used a water serpent, so her son used her remains to create the universe. And so there's something here about creation and how sometimes you have to destroy to be able to create. Sometimes you have to break something down so you have room to rebuild. And I saw the number 3, 4, 5. That is a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. So as a last message here, if it feels like things are falling apart or things are getting worse, I really do believe that when you stand up for yourself and you learn how to use your voice, things have to get worse before they get better. Because you have to break down the old so you can make room for the new.